Welcome to another episode of Trent Takes On. My name is Trent Maddox. I'm the Trent from the title of the show. Brilliant, I know. Imagine that, putting your name in the title of the show and people be like, oh, I know that guy. Yeah, I thought that through. Today's episode was actually inspired by listening to one of my favorite Clippers podcasts, LA Clips Forum, where there was a brief discussion about Christmas trees. And they mentioned, why hasn't Trent Takes On done an episode on Christmas trees? I know there was a decorations episode, but why not Christmas trees in specific? And you know what? Good call, guys. I totally should have done that. Now that it's, the first week of December, I'm going to try and release it as quickly as possible so that we can, get this information out into the world just in case somebody needs it. And in honor of that, the super fun episode title is Christmas Trees, Capitalism, and You. The instant that I thought, I need to do an episode on Christmas trees, I thought, what a great excuse for me to use the word flock repeatedly. And then I thought, well, if I use the word flock repeatedly, then, that's a strange sounding word that people might misconstrue. Should I censor the word flock because it sounds like something else? Would it be funny if I just censored the word flock for the rest of the episode? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Maybe it will be funny. I don't know. But where do you start an episode about Christmas trees? I think that you have to start with the real argument at the heart of Christmas trees, which is real or fake. Do you buy a real tree year after year, or do you buy a fake tree and use that for year after year after year? There are a lot of factors to take into consideration when you determine whether or not you should be buying a real tree or a fake tree. And in the interest of honesty and full disclosure, I will admit I do own a fake tree. That being said, I use the tree every year. The intention is to keep it for a minimum of the entire childhood of my kids, meaning this tree is going to be used for about 15 years or so. We bought a slim profile, in other words, a skinny tree, because of our desire to keep the profile of the tree small. We don't have a whole lot of space here in our apartment, so we wanted to get a tree that wouldn't take up too much of our living area. If you have a large home or a large place that you can put a tree, that's up to you. That being said, the slim trees will eventually take up less space in the landfill when I finally do throw it out, which of course will happen probably. Also, the slim tree is very easy for me to pack away in its original box, and I save it year to year. This saves us money in the long run. When we bought it, we were in a different place. Financially, we could do things differently now, but ultimately this was a combination of factors that led to us getting the artificial tree. That being said, should you buy a real tree every year, or should you buy a fakie and try to use it for, multiple Christmases? And the answer to the second part, if you do buy an artificial tree, you should use it as long as you possibly can. And when you're done using it, you should do your best to donate it somewhere so that it can get further use as opposed to sending it directly to the landfill. This is my plan. I'll try to donate it if I can. Hopefully we've taken good enough care of it that someone will still want it. So take care of your artificial tree if you bought one. Use it for as long as you can, because at the end of the day, these trees are non-biodegradable. Most of them are made from PVC and metals. PVC is a type of plastic that's used in plumbing and can be shredded and turned into these little fake pine needles that they put on these trees. Most of them come from China. The aggregate environmental impact of an artificial Christmas tree that's average size, 6 feet tall. The carbon footprint of each one is about 40 kilograms, which is a lot. Feels like a lot. It is a lot. Most of that is in the construction of the tree, although a solid 30 to 35% is probably in transportation of the trees from the place where they're created to the place where they're ultimately sold. So to put that into perspective, that's a carbon footprint. If you think about a naturally sourced Christmas tree, if it doesn't have a lot of transportation attached to it, and most of them don't, Christmas tree farms, you can put a Christmas tree farm just about anywhere, except maybe Arizona. Parts of Arizona, definitely. Some of it, not so much. Hawaii, it's just not going to happen. If you're going to naturally source a Christmas tree and it's close, the carbon footprint depends on what you do with it when you're done. Live Christmas trees will last around a month if you take good care of them, if you water them. But ultimately, they're going to die. We've all seen it if you've ever been around a live tree. Makes perfect sense. Plants don't last forever after you cut them down. no longer have roots, so, they're just not going to live very long. So Christmas trees, we try to keep alive for about 30 days. What do you do with your Christmas tree at the end of 30 days? Well, there's the real question. It depends on where you are and what your options are. Some cities, counties, will have natural tree recycling programs. They will pick up your natural tree and it will be shredded, composted, used for fertilizer or other products. In essence, the entire thing gets recycled. That's a good thing. That means your real carbon footprint is probably negative on a real Christmas tree if it's fully recycled properly. You can recycle it yourself, turn it into lumber, mulch it, use it as fertilizer in your own lawn. That's possible. You could do that. Some people will say, no, I'm not going to do that on January 1. It just seems like a lot of work. It's understandable. Hopefully, your city will help you out. If your city doesn't have a recycling program, if you just toss it in the trash and it goes to a landfill, that's not ideal because even though natural trees are biodegradable, they will break down in landfills and become methane. And methane is a major problem when it comes to carbon footprint. Okay, you want to recycle your plants whenever you can in any way you can. Having them end up in landfills is far from ideal. The carbon footprint on a real tree that's landfilled is about 16 kilograms, which is less than 40. But if you're using, say, 3 straight years, you buy a new tree, a real tree, and you end up landfilling it, congratulations, you've already generated a larger carbon footprint using real trees than you would have using a fake tree for the same amount of time, 3 years. There are new options as far as buying real trees go. There are certain companies that are doing potted Christmas trees that you have in your house. They live in a pot. Literally, they're still alive. You use them for the season and then you return them. And those trees are then planted. As for Christmas tree farming, these trees are actually grown specifically to be sold as Christmas trees. They're chopped down at a specific point so that they can be picked up and put into your house. Most Christmas tree farms will plant anywhere from 1 to 3 trees for every one they cut down. So really, this is a good farming practice, and that's the way we should consider it. Those trees that are being farmed responsibly, being replenished by planting 1 to 3 additional trees for every one you chop down, that's ultimately a good thing. Trees and forests are our number one way to clean our atmosphere. Deforestation is one of the biggest problems facing the world today, but Christmas tree farms are not actually a part of it. So embrace real trees if you can. In some places, you can also buy potted trees and then plant them yourself afterwards. If you have the space to do it, it's an entirely up to you thing. But these are fun things to talk about and fun things to discuss with your family. Maybe you want to do a Christmas tree for a special Christmas. This was baby's first Christmas, and then we're going to plant that tree and we can go visit it every year and say, this was the very first Christmas tree that you had when you were a baby. How nice is that? What a pleasant thought. And it's good for the environment. So having said all that about real versus fake, your choices are your choices. If you're environmentally friendly, buy real trees, have them recycled or recycle them yourself. If you are going to buy an artificial tree for whatever reason, I have mine. Make sure that you use that tree as long as you can. And then when it's time to replace it with either a new artificial tree or real trees, try to donate it if you can. That doesn't ultimately save that artificial tree from the landfill, but it may prolong its use, meaning one less gets bought, one less gets made. You know the way it works. So now you've got your tree. It's a real tree. It's an artificial tree. Doesn't matter. It's in your house or apartment or wherever you live. Log cabin? Houseboat? Houseboat! How do you decorate a tree? What should you decorate a tree with? If you buy a real tree, is it now a fire hazard in your house? To be honest, as long as that tree's alive for the 30 days and it's watered, it's not a real fire hazard with today's technology in lighting, because you're going to put lights on your tree, right? Old school lights were more dangerous. They generated more light and more heat because they drew more electricity. If you have modern Christmas lights, LED style lighting, they generate almost no heat and pull very little electricity, and that keeps them from being a fire hazard. That's a good thing. Also, a good quality strand of LED lights. I have one that's 500 lights, I believe. It's a lot of lights. I got a lot of lights on my tree. It's all in one strand. But but it's a quality strand with multiple colors. All the lights can change from regular white to any color in the rainbow, and they can do patterns and different things. It's beautiful. It gives you options with just one strand of lights, and it will last you pretty much forever. These things never burn out as long as you take decent care of them and don't do anything silly with them. A good strand of LED lights will last you as long as you don't lose them. Does that make sense? Don't lose your lights. If you're still using old C7, C9 lights, don't do that. Put those away, throw those away, get rid of them. Landfill them, bad boys. They're worthless. They are dangerous. They are a horrible drain on the electrical grid. You don't want that. Get rid of those things. Upgrade to LEDs. If you're using outdoor lights, there are so many more low wattage options than there used to be. Upgrade your lights, people, please. As far as tinsel and garland and things like that go, it's all very, very cheap, but you still should want to reuse it as many times as you can. I don't like tinsel. It's awful. I don't understand people that do. Okay? I don't get it. As for garland, we bought 2 strands, one blue, one pink. We have a white artificial tree. The girls' favorite colors are blue and pink, respectively. So we have to decorate the tree in their favorite colors. That's what we've chosen to do. And we keep those garlands and we use them every year. They were cheap, and we know that they're ultimately not good for the environment, but we're going to reuse them enough times that it won't matter. Next, I want to talk about ornaments. Ornaments are a personal deal. Some people have so many ornaments on their tree, that would be us, that it's almost like, why bother with a tree? You just put the ornaments in a pile in the corner, maybe hot glue them together or something. Your ornaments are out of control. My ornaments are out of control. You buy new ornaments. When you see new ornaments and you think, oh, that's so cute, and then you keep them and you keep them and you keep them, and that's not a bad thing. As long as you're reusing them and you're reusing them, that's good. They're small. You know, when I was a kid, they were made out of glass or sharp plastic, and oh my God, they were terrifying when you broke one. A broken ornament was like a weapon. Seriously. And a lot of people still have those ornaments from the 70s. And if you do, wow, that's impressive. Ornaments are a totally personal thing. I'm not going to tell you what kind of ornaments to use on your tree. That's all entirely up to you. Enjoy and feel good about it, because that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to bring you joy. If you want to do organic ornaments or all natural ornaments, if you want to make your ornaments out of different types of berries and tree leaves and things like that, hey, that's awesome sauce. Also, looks good. And you get to do crafts with the family. So nothing wrong with that. And then I finally get to use the word fuck. What is fucking? What the fuck do you do with a Christmas tree? No, I probably shouldn't say that one. I did anyway. To fuck a Christmas tree is to add artificial snow to the tree itself. A lot of Christmas tree vendors, these Christmas tree lots, will offer artificial fucking. Usually the fucking has propellants and is fire retardant. There's a chemical concern with it. Also, many of the home fucking things that you can buy at Home Depot or Lowe's or Target or Walmart or wherever you're doing your shopping, a lot of those have chemical concerns as well. Read the labels, and then we'll get to this. Fucking your Christmas tree artificially with chemical fucking materials makes even a real tree non-recyclable. Okay? So, when it comes to fucking, you can use natural things like shredded coconut or cornstarch, along with natural adhesives. You can fuck trees, quote unquote, biodegradably or naturally. All of these things being said, don't fuck your tree. Don't fuck your tree. If you have an artificial tree and you're like, oh, I want to fuck, get it fucked from the beginning. Don't fuck it later. And definitely don't do natural fucking on an artificial tree. That's just madness. The instant that you fuck a natural tree with natural or artificial fuck, most cities will consider it non-recyclable, even if it's natural fuck on a natural real tree. So, when it comes to fucking your trees, get the fuck out. Don't fuck your tree. All right? Man, I use that word a lot. I think it will be really funny if I bleep it. So if you heard a lot of bleeps in there, I wasn't saying the other word. I was saying fuck. I'll probably bleep that one too. And that'll be clever. Is it clever when you realize that it's clever in the middle of the thought? These are the real questions we ask. There is one final thing I want to talk about the Christmas trees. It was a secret word that I snuck in there during the title. Capitalism. During that episode of LA Clips Forum, there was a real question asked about why are real Christmas trees, so expensive? Is it an inflation thing? The answer is no. It's not because of inflation. That's probably due to the fact that these Christmas tree lots have increased labor costs. People are making more money, and that's a good thing. And we want to support them. We want to support the farmers that are growing these trees, bringing them to you, hopefully locally grown, and the local salespeople and lot workers that they have. Why are Christmas trees, real Christmas trees, so expensive? The answer is capitalism. A Christmas tree is worth whatever someone is willing to pay for it. Most of these local Christmas tree lots will say, that tree right there, that's $100. Okay? I'm just going to round number here. If you think $100 is too expensive, tell them, well, I was looking to spend a little less than that. They will either take you to a new tree, or you can start the haggling process, which I recommend. This is capitalism at its finest. Bring the price of the tree to where you need it to be. I don't want to spend any more than $70. And the salesperson will say something to the tune of, well, I can't do 70. How does 85 sound? Meet you in the middle, and you can say something super fun, just like, how about you make me feel like I got to win? I'll recommend this place to a friend. I'll give you 80 for it. And you get $20 off the tree that way, because they'll do it. Feel free to barter with these people. But when it comes to why they're expensive, it's capitalism, baby. It is what it is. Artificial trees are expensive too. I don't know what to say. Joy ain't free. That's not true. Joy is free. But if you want joy around a Christmas tree, probably going to have to pay for it. Don't go Griswold and go out into the forest and chop down your own tree. That's not a good plan either. All right? Don't do that. Watch the movie around your tree that you got responsibly. Well, that's been a Christmas tree episode of Trent Takes On. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. You can find this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. As always, like, subscribe, share. I've changed the order. I'll probably change it back tomorrow. The most important part is to share. Hey, I heard this fun episode about Christmas trees. Take a listen. That's how we grow together. And hopefully I can stay positive and we'll have a good week. Join me again soon for another Trent Takes On, where who knows what the next take will be. In the meantime, remember, we're all in this together. Be good humans, happy holidays, and keep up the good fight.
When I was